Hey, what's up y'all and welcome back. This Wednesday video I'm going to be going over attachments and how they affect your gameplay. Just want to say thank you all for this support. We're almost to 500 subscribers and I wouldn't be here without all of you guys. And if you do like my videos and you are going to watch them, I'd appreciate if you subscribe. If you enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment about what you think. Anyways, I don't want to waste any more of you guys' time. Let's get into this video. Just to give you guys an idea, how I'm going to lay out this video is I'm going to be starting off with the sights, so things like red dot, holo, acog, that kind of things. Then I'm going to be moving on to your barrel attachments, like compensator, flash, and whatnot. Then after that, we'll go into the grips, and then lastly, we'll go over underbarrel, aka, the laser sight. Alright, first and foremost, we're going to be going over the sights. There are four main sights, as you guys can see here on screen. We got red dot, holographic, reflex, and acog. And of course, there are variations of this, such as the Strats sights, so they'll look slightly different depending on which operators you are choosing out of. And I did cover this similar in my last recoil video, or how to control recoil and whatnot. Feel free to watch that if you guys want to learn how to control recoil and just overall your aim. But besides that, I'm going to get way more specific than I did in that video. This is going to be how they affect you, not necessarily how they affect your recoil. So first and foremost, red dot is, I'd say, the most simple one. It's basically just iron sights but better. This doesn't change your field of view, so basically you won't feel like you're going to be zoomed in, you won't see as much things. And overall I'd recommend it for your close range fights. And it's also easier to control recoil, so if you aren't very good at controlling recoil, feel free to try and hop on with the red dot. Similar to red dot, we have the reflex sight. This is arguably a better red dot. It all depends on your preference. I use a mixture of both red dot and reflex depending on, of course, what operator. So similar to red dot, there is no field of view change. You won't get that zoom in effect. There's also a better color separation, I would say. The main colors of operators, or even their clothing, sometimes it's black, sometimes it's blue. Green is such a different color from those colors that it's going to be easier to tell if you're on target or not. So that's one really nice thing about reflex. Next up, we got the holo sight. So this one does slightly change your field of view. It's not too much noticeable for me, at the very least, I would say. Although I will say I do prefer it over something like a red dot. And in that case, I'd also recommend this sight if you're playing at a medium range. And overall, I'd say this is more for fragging ops. So for example, say you're playing Sledge, Ash, Zofia, anything like that, I'd say run holographic sights. Lastly, the most popular, I do have a very different opinion about ACOGs considering most people, so feel free to listen to this as you might learn something that you didn't know about before. And so considering acog, this has the biggest field of view change, if there was any field of view change in the first place. And so this one you will get more zoomed in, you'll have more detail at further ranges. Overall, I do recommend acog at those long ranges. Like it says here, it says 2.5 magnification. I don't think the sights actually change. It doesn't have like a zoom effect. It does change your field of view, I believe, though. So just keep that in mind. They are a little bit different. Feel free to Google it. I don't want to go over in this video. Sorry, guys. Overall, though, I don't like running acog too much. The only time I run acog is on support roles. So say I'm playing someone like Doc, or say I'm playing someone like Thermite, sometimes Thatcher, depending on how I'm playing Thatcher and whatnot. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. So overall, let's just recap real quick on sights. Red dot and reflex closer for close range fights, easier to control recoil, doesn't change your field of view whatsoever. Holographic sights slightly change field of view, more for medium range fights. I recommend this on your fragging ops like Ash. Lastly, acog does change your field of view, more for long range. Play this on support roles such as Thermite or Doc. Alright, next up we're going to be going over our barrel attachments. So right here, Buck does have all of them, so I'm just going to be showing you guys on Buck if that matters or not. So first up, suppressor. Personally, I find there's absolutely no reason to run suppressor. The only positive thing I will say about suppressor is it gives you a little bit more slack if you're missing shots that are really close to the target. So say I'm literally around a meter off of hitting the target, it will be harder for the enemy to see my missed bullets compared to if I wasn't to have suppressor on. But overall, I think that it hurts your ability to do things rather than help in the overall situations that you'll be in. Next up, there is flash hider. This is my personal favorite, considering all barrel attachments. I pretty much run this on everything. I'll tell you guys why. So what the flash hider basically does is it helps out 50-50 with your vertical control and your horizontal control. Or you can also think of it as your X and Y axis control if you're looking at the game more in that type of way. And so overall, you're going to have a lot easier time controlling overall recoil with flash hider than any other thing. Next up, we have compensator. So what compensator does is this reduces your horizontal or X-axis recoil. So for example, I covered it again in this recoil video that I've done previously. A great weapon that I can compare this to, or how it will mainly affect your recoil, is say on Twitch. Twitch has, I'd say, a lot of horizontal recoil. And so basically what this will do is it will help reduce it. It won't get rid of it. It won't minimize it in a sense. It will just reduce it. And so overall, I'd run this if you'd rather just pull down your mouse a whole bunch. But overall, yeah, if you notice that you're really bad at controlling the horizontal recoil, go ahead and run compensator. See if it changes it up. If not, like I said, feel free to try out flash. I personally think it's the best. Next up, we have the muzzle brake. Like it says here, it reduces the recoil for single shot firing. So the only time I'd really run muzzle is on your semi-auto weapons. It won't really help out otherwise unless you shoot in bursts. Lastly, we have extended barrel. So similar to suppressor, I don't really see a need to run extended barrel. And the reason why is because there's no reason to be taking on gunfights where you're at a very large disadvantage. Overall, what I'd recommend is instead run a different barrel attachment such as flash hider and just practice up your positioning, guys. So overall, no really need to run extended barrel. Just get better at your positioning. Feel free to practice that and watch other people's videos. Hopefully I'll make a video concerning positioning sometime later on. Alright guys, this next part is our grips. So this one's going to be nice and quick because there's only two of them. Vertical grip, similar to exactly what it says, it helps with vertical recoil control. And then next up is the angled grip. This basically just allows you to ADS faster. Overall, I'd say run vertical grip if it's your only option, or if you need help with your recoil control. I'd say run angled grip as much as you possibly can. It doesn't really help with recoil control, so as long as it's a weapon that you can control your recoil on, go ahead and run this, or run this with your DMRs, as recoil control on DMRs is basically just whatever you can do with your shot accuracy. Alright, this next part is going to be covering your underbarrel attachments, aka the laser sight. And all that I will have to say about laser sight is it helps tighten your hip fire accuracy. Doesn't help with ADS, of course. I'd say only use this on things like shotguns and DMRs. I have it attached on Buck, obviously, because he has DMRs plus he has shotguns, so it's literally best of both worlds. The only thing I will say, if you do it for shotguns, be aware that it's going to tighten your hip fire accuracy. So you'll be accurate if you don't ADS for your shotguns, although I mainly use shotguns on defense, and I mainly use it on defense because it helps me change up the map or make rotate holes. And I personally don't like having a tighter hip fire spread when I am making rotate holes, because overall it's going to make you use more of your ammo capacity than if you're to have your laser sight off of the gun. And lastly, I will say be careful with this because it does give away your position attackers or basically your enemy will be able to see where your laser sight is pointed at, just as much as you can see it. So overall, I'd say don't run this on regular guns like auto weapons. I'd say debate running it on things like DMRs or your shotguns. Again, I hope you all got something out of this video. If you did, please hit that like button, as it's going to help give me exposure to help more players just like you out, and I'd really like to do that. Again, thank you all, and I'd love to chat with you guys over in my Discord server. There's a link in the description below. Feel free to join it and at me over on the Discord. That's it for today's video though. See you guys on Saturday in the next one. Deuces.